Welcome to the Creative Channel. Today, we're going to watch the most beautiful moments of respect in sports that will melt your heart. Before we start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to get even more amazing videos. "12-year-old Isaiah Jarvis got accidentally hit in the head by a rival pitcher, but instead of being angry, Jarvis hugged the distraught opponent in a heart-melting act of forgiveness."
So this is really cool because as a pitcher,
When George Teagle had fallen unconscious, his rival Akashvili immediately swung into action to prevent Teagle from swallowing his tongue. After the game, he received the embrace of Teagle's teammates, who thanked him for his efforts.
Und Lochoschwili hat offensichtlich Teigl.
Justin Gatlin managed to triumph in Usain Bolt's last ever individual race, but instead of celebrating, he made sure to pay tribute to the Jamaican legend.
Nothing near the sort of form which would take him to gold. It wasn't to be. I suppose that's...
is the world champion here in London. The fifth fastest, but America get 1 and 2.
Well, the fairy tale was...
Así como jugaba yo, ¿viste? Dándose vuelta, mirá, ahí va Bontempo. Le hizo Carinito, puedo ir, me dice, ahí lo van retirando. Sí.
Fatih Amaran is an 8-year-old dedicated wrestler with Down syndrome. He has the best day of his life because he's defeating an Olympic champion in a fun exhibition match.
çocuğun gülümsemesi
Whether winning or losing, Grigor Dimitrov is always ready to lend a helping hand.
Oh, well, that's a heavy fall.
I think he says I'm okay, I'm just relaxing.
And Grigor quickly round to help.
After brutally knocking out the opponent, AJ Matthews immediately dropped to his knees praying for his health. Luckily, he recovered consciousness soon after, and they shared a hug as a sign of mutual respect.
There was a stoppage and a TKO win for AJ Matthews.
His kick was already being launched and then his hand hit the ground. You are not allowed to put a third point on the ground to avoid.
Attenzione, sul 24-23 torna
È stato istruito da Brogioni, secondo, bravo Bari.
E grande battuta di Alessandro che fa il 24 pari, l'ace di Alessandro.
When Lee Chong-wei was forced to quit the final due to his injury, his opponent didn't start celebrating the victory. Lin Dan walked up to Lee to console and cheer him up. He even helped the medical staff carry his arch rival.
The medics point. And 31, not even sure if Lee Chong-wei is going to be able to complete the match. Comes across.
Question, if the players were told that the aircon were going to be switched off.
At such a young age, this kid is already an example for how to treat another. With the players constantly crashing into each other at full speed, rugby is one of the most brutal and violent sports in the world. But that doesn't mean that players can't show compassion.
It's gone straight down.
The tackle, and unfortunately,
we can see there too, Tavaki too. Old mates too.
Saying that Matthew Bastereau is like for like, but just gets his head in the wrong place, doesn't he?
Yeah, we're seeing perhaps a little bit too much of that.
After missing an obvious offside, the referee punished the defender with a penalty for taking the ball into his hands. Luckily, the penalty taker was too noble to accept such a cheap goal. The whole team of Cardinals came to their injured opponent to wish him a speedy recovery.
And many of the Cardinals are going over to Michael Kendricks, who is waiting for an appeal for a suspension, and he has Earl Thomas, who wasn't happy with his contract.
Diving into the stands for a ball, Addison Russell caused a heartbreaking disaster. He spilled the fans' nachos, but Russell's conscience didn't allow him to leave it like that, and he redeemed himself soon after.
Shit for him and Addison Russell as a present. Now that's cool.
You can do that when you're winning.
Right. And the nachos, get them in there. What a...
Mamed Khalidov gives the belt to his opponent, showing that he deserved it more despite the judge's decision.
Kategorii średniej organizacji zostaje mistrzem. Kategorii średniej organizacji KSW.
Oddał swój mistrzowski pas.
The soon-to-be crowned judo champion carried the injured opponent off the tatami on her back. She even stopped at the edge to take the ceremonial bow. Andorran athlete sacrificed his ambitions of winning the race to help an injured rival.
Hier mit dem Fehler am Hindern ist so toll und da bleibt doch einer glatt stehen und hilft ihm. Was ist das denn für eine tolle...
Währenddessen diese Bilder sicherlich auch in die...
A 12-year-old refugee from a besieged Ukrainian city scores a game winner in a charity match.
А у Маріуполі мордування переїхали до Приморського району і не можу, чесно кажучи, стримувати сліз. Дмитро Кеда забиває гол за донецький Шахтар. Боявся погано зіграти за улюблений клуб.
Matthew Rees helped a rival marathon athlete get to the finishing line after his legs had collapsed underneath him. This autistic player hadn't scored a point all season, and in the final game of that season, everyone really wanted to remedy that.
Come on, Bo, let's get this one in. You got 24 seconds. Let's get one in for you before the season's over.
Yes!
Yeah! Bo Howell!
This cross-country runner, struggling mightily to finish her conference championship race, received a boost from an unexpected source: her opponent.
Sport is all about. Oh my goodness. Finish line, what a shot right here at Wakemet Soccer Club.
A player's hijab slipped off mid-game, and her opponents took time to cover her while she was readjusting it. Gavin Lux's teammates found a hilarious way to support their injured teammate. What great team chemistry!
Out his glove and boom! Crashes into that.
Gavin Lux smashed into the wall last night. And Mookie Betts and Cody. And just a little while ago, A.J. Pollock came out to pay his respects to the State Farm side.
Tony Martin's teammates helped him to finish the race after he had broken his collarbone in a crash. Jamie Murray stops play, admitting that he touched the ball during the point. This high school cross-country runner carried his friend with a broken leg across the finish line, despite knowing that he'd be disqualified for it. An Indian player proved why cricket is known as a gentleman's game. When his opponent suffered a cramp, he volunteered to stretch his muscles before the physio team arrived. Sam A immediately stopped celebrating the victory to console his visually upset opponent.
Of the end
for Tona. And then Tona just stood there in pretty much the beginning of the end for Tona. And then Tona just stood there in...
The Iranian wrestler failed to win this match, but he won the hearts of the wrestling fans. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.